But you cannot bear them now. So this spirit, this Holy Ghost, it is the Holy Ghost, every church and denomination claims it. Everybody seems to be in touch. At your beck and call, you press the button and it's there. You ask the Jehovah's Witnesses. He says, yes, we have it. Ask the Roman Catholics, they got it. Ask Brother Jimmy Swaggart, he says he's got it. Everybody has it. All those cults that he mentions in his books, among these 30 books, there's one on cults. You read them, he says, look, every cultist says he's got the Spirit. Who? The Holy Ghost. Everybody's got it. And they're all going in different directions. So one Spirit, taking you all into opposite directions from God? No. As Brother Swaggart said yesterday, either we are both right or we can both be wrong. You both can be right. So you have 1,000 sects and denominations among the whites of South Africa, among the whites. And 3,000 among the blacks. In America, I was going to understand that you got 40 different Baptist churches. Each and every one has got the Holy Ghost, the Spirit, and they're all going in different directions. Is it from God? Can it be from God? All going in different directions. All say they are Baptist and everyone has got the Holy Ghost. So I said, you see, you haven't got the solution to the problems. Answer. Jesus, I have yet many things to say unto you. Many. Many in English is more than one. At least you understand that English. I have yet many things to say unto you, but you cannot bear them now. Howbeit, when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth. All is also more than one. I am asking my Christian brethren for the past 40 years. I don't want many solutions. Give me one. That the Holy Ghost gave you in 2,000 years. One. Something that Jesus Christ had not already told you in so many different ways. One. Any church, any denomination, any cult, bring me one new thing that the Holy Ghost gave you. And it's not forthcoming. One! I don't want many. Jesus says, ye cannot bear them now. The reason why he didn't give is not because he didn't have it. He had the solution to the problems of mankind. He used it. God gave it to him. But the people were not fit to receive them. That's what he's saying. He's pleading with us. Ye cannot bear them now means you haven't got that capacity. And the truth of that statement is writ large in the Bible. Again and again. Jesus Christ, he tells his disciples, ye of little faith, because no man, you have no faith. Little faith, whatever you have is little, tiny. Ye of little faith, ye of little faith. How many times? Again and again. And he explains to them spiritual truths as it is explaining to little children, and they can't understand what he's talking about. So he says, are ye even yet without understanding? Yet. And when he's provoked further, he says, O faithless and perverse generation. This is what he's calling his disciples. Not the Jews. The generality of Jews, he called them, you generation of vipers, you whited sepulchres, you wicked and adulterous generation, and on and on. But no, now he's describing his disciples, his own disciples, his chosen ones. He says, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I be with you? I said, if Jesus was a Japanese instead of a Jew, he would have committed that honorable harakiri, suicide. But as a Jew, he couldn't afford to do that. You know, he loved life dearly. He loved life dearly. So he says, when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth. I said, that Spirit of truth is Muhammad. Muhammad is the Prophet. So we say, alamiinn, the Prophet who is faithful, truthful Prophet. alamiinn, the truthful, the faithful. He is the Prophet of truth. Spirit of truth is the Prophet of truth, Muhammad. And he guided mankind into all truth. All your problems, bring them. Brother Swaggart, he writes beautiful books. Homosexuality, Sodom and Gomorrah, pornography, alcohol, beautiful works. I recommend them to you, these books. Not all, but these books especially, I recommend them to you. Read them. Very good. But there are no solutions. You see, alcohol. I dealt with it last night, I think, by the way. He says in this book, alcohol. He says 11 million drunkards in America. 11 million drunkards. He says, these are his terms. In my country, they don't call them drunkards. Especially the whites, you can't call them drunkards. They'll punch you on the jaw. You have to call them alcoholics. They're sick people. See, when you say drunkard, it's very, very pungent, strong. When you say drunkard. But when you say he's alcoholic, this person is sick. So he needs some treatment. 11 million, these are words of Brother Swaggart, drunkards in America, and 44 million heavy drinkers. And he says, to me, no difference between the two. To me, they are the same. Whether you call them drunkards, or you call them heavy drinkers, to me they are the same. I say, MashaAllah. MashaAllah, praise be to God. We have such a brother who speaks like a Muslim. The only thing is, I said, let's go one step further. To solve your problem, you have to go a step further. I said, include your social drinkers as well in that list of yours. Because the Holy Prophet Muhammad made no distinction between these three groups that you are thinking of. You've got the drunkards, you've got the heavy drinkers, and you've got social drinkers. The Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, whatever intoxicates in greater quantity is forbidden even in smaller quantity. No excuse for a nip or a tot. Finish, out. He said, strong words, he said, cursed is he who grows grapes for brewing. Growing of fruit trees in Islam is an act of virtue. Blessing. Allah will reward you. Whether you plant fruit trees for selling the fruit or for eating it, Allah will bless you, He'll reward you. He said, on one occasion, he said, you see, if you get sure knowledge that tomorrow 12 o'clock at noon, the earth will be doomed, finished. It's coming to an end. Yawm al-Qiyamah will set in, 12 o'clock tomorrow. And you were supposed to plant a fruit tree today. So what must you do? It will take 7 years for it to bear fruit. 7 years. He says, plant the tree. Allah will reward you. That mighty messenger of God, he said that if you plant grapes for the purpose of brewing, not for eating or selling, but for the purpose of brewing, like my place in the Cape, in South Africa, we have what is called the Mediterranean climate, and grapes grows beautifully there. That's the best wine growing country in that area. And you inherit 100 hectares of land, 200 acres of land. So what am I going to do? I said, plant grapes, the wine. I said, who's going to buy it? I said, don't worry, there's a winery there, there's a brewery there. Unlimited amount they are prepared to buy from you. I said, right. If you did that, the Prophet of Islam says, cursed is he who grows grapes for brewing. Cursed is he who crushes it. Cursed is he who bottles it. Cursed is he who sells it. And cursed is he who drinks it out. No, you have nothing, no truck with that stuff. This is Islam. And the solution to the problem is this, total abstinence. Said the Prophet of Islam, on instruction from Allah, revelation of God in the Holy Quran. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, so you believe. Innamal khamru, most certainly intoxicants, wal maisiru, and gambling. In his book, one of the books is, the American public is spending $54 billion a year on gambling. Squandering. $54 billion in gambling. Wal ansabu, and fortune telling. Wal azlamu, and idol worship. Rizum min amali shaitan, are an abomination of Satan's handiwork. Fajtanibuhu la'allakum tuflihun. So shun such abomination that you may prosper. And wine barrels were emptied in the streets of Medina, never to be refilled. This one verse has created the biggest society of teetotalers in the world. People who don't imbibe alcohol. Biggest society in the world. One word, one expression. But the Swaggart is talking about, he says, you've got to threaten the Muslims, chopping off his head, or chopping off his hands. Therefore, they don't drink.
The person does not drink because he fears his hand will be cut off, or his toes, or his nose, or whatever.
Is that the reason? I want to know, you in America, the Muslims. I know we have black sheep amongst us, like any community has. We have. You can't say we are all angels. But what percentage of Muslims imbibe alcohol? In India, Pakistan, South Africa, my community, I'm boasting in my country. Perhaps it applies everywhere where the Muslims live. I said, we Muslims have the lowest alcoholic consumption in the country. We have the lowest gambling rate in the country. We have the lowest prison rate in the country. We have the lowest divorce rate in the country. We have the lowest suicide rate in the country. And we have the highest charity rate in the country. That's what Islam has done for us. لَعَلَّهُمْ